Today is Thursday, June 29, AD 2023. Good evening and welcome to News Desk. 45 minutes of the major happenings in Liberia, Africa, and elsewhere. My name is Henson Decker presenting. In the headlines, President George Weah congratulates Julius Maada Bio on his re-election as president of neighboring Sierra Leone following a tense electoral process. Associate Justice Jinseta Wolokoli wants Liberians to begin reviewing the electoral laws to challenge provisions that are not applicable in Liberia. Head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation discloses huge progress in the fight against power theft in the country. And away from Liberia, French policemen charged with voluntary homicides and placed on an arrest over the killing of a teenager, which sparked nationwide protest. The details of these developments, the news bulletin, the voices of the newsmakers, schools are all anticipated on this Thursday edition of Newsfest. We take a break to rejoin you. If you're bound with the news bulletin, Olivia, good evening.
Good evening, Hensley. Good evening to all. President George Weah has congratulated Julius Maada Bio, president of the neighboring Sierra Leone, following his landmark victory in his country's presidential polls. The governing Sierra Leonean People's Party obtained 56% of the votes for securing the first round, a victory against the opposition's All People's Congress of Samira Kumari. But an executive mansion release quotes President Weah as wishing President Bio well as he says the affairs of the Sierra Leonean people during his next term of office. Both neighbors, he said, have historically had good relations, which was further strengthened during the leadership of President Maada Bio. The Liberian leader said he looks forward to working collaboratively with him on issues of mutual interest. Liberia shares a long and porous with its Western Europe, as well as long-standing cultural and economic ties. Both countries signed a pact in 2007 committing to foster peace and unity among their people. Saturday's poll was the second time the two leading candidates have faced each other for the presidency. Bill's SLPP also won the 2018 presidential election. In another development, President George Weah says Liberia and the United States of America have shared values and common positions on political ideology, liberal democracy, open capitalist economic systems, human rights, and to exercise and protection of the rights of their citizens. The Liberian leader said Liberia holds these shared values as sacred and will continue to defend them without compromise. President Weah revealed that together, Liberia will continue to be aggressive for what is right for Liberia in order to save Liberia from those who want to be aggressive for what is wrong for the country. He stressed that his government and people are also proud of the leadership role the United States has played and continues to play on the world stage. He therefore pledged to remain traditional, thus to remain a traditional friend and ally, and to fight along with the U.S. in common cause in defense of a democracy across the world. President Weah at the same time said Liberia supports United Nations and international concerted efforts for the restoration of lasting peace in Ukraine. According to him, Liberians remain united in common sense on human rights, good governance, and the rule of law. Associate justice seems at a locally wants Liberians to begin reviewing the electoral laws to challenge provisions that are not applicable in the country. Justice locally also stressed the need for politicians to hire the services of lawyers to review the electoral laws, noting that some may not be applicable considering the many challenges. Justice locally made the call spoke on justice and rule of law, a component to free and fair elections, at the launch of the Bishop Arthur F. Kula lecture series organized by the Liberia Council of Churches in Monrovia on Thursday. Delivering his annual message, the president of the Liberia Council of Churches, Reverend Samuel Reed, said the LCC will continue to pray for peace, democracy, and the rule of law in the country. Reveries pledged his leadership to members of LCC's commitment to remain politically neutral, independent, and to stand for the respect of human rights. The ceremony marking the opening of the General Assembly of LCC was graced by over 150 delegates, including present and former officials of government and partners of the council. The head of the Liberian Electricity Corporation has disclosed the connection of over 17,000 households since the launch of the anti-power theft campaign in the country. According to Morning Katan, several containers of meter are also expected in countries soon to enable LDC connect more homes. The LDC chief executive officer said protest is on the increase in the country because of people are getting for electricity, but the distribution of meters is down. He said, as part of rebranding the Liberian Electricity Corporation, the entity is working with its partners to ensure transformers and meters are available to serve various communities and homes. Speaking Thursday at a major press conference in Monrovia, Monica Tan said LDC is expected to celebrate 50 years of existence this July and called on Liberians to take ownership of the corporation. According to Katan, who is also the acting chair of the LDC, the 88 megawatts at the Mount Coffee is currently supplying sufficient electricity at various homes, adding that LDC still has access to supply more homes. Meanwhile, Monica has disclosed that an assessment has been completed in Beaumont, Lower Bond County for the construction of additional 150 megawatts hydroelectric plant. The former Power Minister also disclosed that the Rabat International Airport is expected to be electrified by the Liberia Electricity Corporation before the end of this year. Opposition members of the Liberian Senate have succumbed to the demand of the ruling coalition for democratic change to pass the 60 million United States dollar financing agreement. The loan agreement between the government and the International Development Association was recently passed by the House in the process. Representative Clarence Massaquet described as counterproductive to good governance. The instrument was heavily opposed during Tuesday's session by opposition senators, and their stance led to the Senate pro tem taking siege of the agreement. It, however, resurfaced in plenary on Thursday. The opposition senators, according to our Senate reporter, were seen voting on the record in favor of the passage of the $60 million United States dollar loan agreement with less than 4 months to the 2023 general elections. Our reporter noted that despite the opposing views from some opposition senators, majority of them were seen voting on the record in favor of the financing agreement. Defending his vote in favor of the bill, Unity Party's Senator Komine Wisset of Riverton County told his colleagues that the legislation will boost the economy of the country, especially in the areas of priority. Senators who voted in favor of the instrument include Riverside County Senator Wellington G. Van Smith, Daniel Natan of the Alternative National Congress, Milton Tiagid of Sino County, and Augustine Chiade, among others. Those who voted against the bill include Senators Prince Moyed of Bon County, Yombli Kanka Lawrence, Darius Dillon, Jonathan Super Boto Kane, James Bunning, among others. A representative aspirant in District Number 3, Montserrat County, has donated 100,000 United States dollars to the District Development Council. The Wanoke said the donation was as a result of a promise he made during the recent fundraising rally organized by the District Development Council to renovate the district's town hall. Presenting the pledge on behalf of T. Wanoke, who is currently in the U.S., Victoria Flumo said the catch is intended to buttress the effort of the council in its development drive in the district. Adam Flumo said development remains one of the pillars of the Wanoke's agenda for the people of District Number 3, Montserrat County. Receiving the catch donation, the chairman of the District Development Council, Patrick Geffler, thanked the Wanoke for the gesture that he described as timely. Gender Minister Elementa Sirita says, despite the numerous social protection interventions, Liberia, among other countries, is still facing various challenges in promoting women empowerment. Minister Sirita said, donors can play a crucial role in addressing these challenges and advancing women's empowerment. She called for extensive support to address issues of sexual and gender-based violence. Liberian Gender Minister named gender inequality and cultural norms, education and literacy rates, healthcare and reproductive rights, as well as women's access to justice and promoting women's economic and political empowerment are some of the challenges. The top indicated that the perceptions are changing about women's capabilities and roles in the society, and therefore highlighted the need to provide a space to promote more equitable and inclusive economic development. He emphasized that Liberia's social protection program contributes towards gender equality by challenging social norms and barriers that restrict women's economic participation. Despite the different postures of the ministers of Commerce and Health to appear before the Liberian Senate, Senators Albert Chie and Augustine Chie have defended the minister's action. It may be recalled, members of the Liberian Senate have requested government ministries and agencies, especially the ministries of Finance and Health, to present their budget performance report for the past budget years to inform Senate's decision for budgetary appropriations. The result of such requests, Finance Minister Samuel Twe and Health Minister Wilhelmina Njara were written on two separate occasions to appear before the full plenary of the Liberian Senate for such effort is yet to be approved to. Raising concerns during Thursday's session, the several senators for the both ministers to be held in contempt next Wednesday. Senator Augustine Chied of Sano County defended the ministers that they are busy with other things in the interest of the Liberian people. As such, they should be given time. He noted that it was necessary for the Senate to hold Minister Sonokwe and Health Minister William Minanjara in contempt. For his part, Temple Abatier called on his colleagues to continue the engagements with the two ministers rather than holding them in contempt. According to him, the ministers have communicated with the Senate's committee chair on executive, Sir Joseph, about their engagements, but some of the senators were heard saying that the pro tem statement was meant to support what they described has been disrespectful of the top officials of the CDC's government. Away from Liberia, a French policeman has been charged with voluntary homicide and placed under arrest on Thursday, ahead of trial over the killing of a teenager at point blank range who sparked a nationwide protest. The 17-year-old victim, identified only as Nahel M, was shot at point blank range by a police officer on Tuesday morning. He was driving a yellow Mercedes in Natiri when he was pulled over for traffic violations. Police initially reported that he was shot after driving his car at police, but this was contradicted by a video that rapidly went viral across social media and was later authenticated by AFP. The footage shows the two policemen standing by the stationary car with one pointing the weapon at the driver. A voice is heard saying, "You are going to get a bullet in the head." The police officer then appears to fire as the car abruptly drives off before gradually coming to a stop. The incident has so far caused 2 nights of violent arrests in the capital and cities across France that, that have seen protesters clashing with police. Authorities said at least 150 people were arrested overnight. Well, Steve, that's a news bulletin.
Many thanks. Thanks to Olivia Bound for the news bulletin. The bulletin of news, it is a regular feature on the news program. And of course, if you are just joining us in one of the top developments we are following this evening, President George, we are congratulating Julius Marabio on his re-election as president of neighboring Sierra Leone following a tense electoral process. Let's bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Associate Justice James Atta Wolopoli wants Liberians to begin reviewing the electoral laws to challenge provisions that are not applicable in the country. James Atta, Justice Wolopoli also stressed the need for politicians to hire the services of lawyers to review the electoral laws, noting that some may not be applicable considering the many challenges. Justice Wolopoli made the court when she spoke on justice and rule of law, a component to free and fair elections at the launch of the Bishop Arthur F. Kulat lecture series organized by the Liberia Council of Churches in Morville on Thursday.
So now they're running for elections. We have laws in elections, what I think I not agree with. Please do not come to us. This is not to discuss it. We will have to try to start it. What I do know, say we have to get this law. Is it fair to all concerned? Say to yourself, you're a lawyer, what are the laws? Which are the laws we are supposed to challenge? Which of those laws are protected? And we will stick to law equally.
Delivering his final message, the president of the Liberal Council of Churches, Reverend Samiri, said the LCC will continue to preach for peace, democracy, and the rule of law in the country. Reverend Rees pledged his leadership a member of LCC's commitment to remain politically neutral, independent, and to stand for the respect of human rights. The head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation has disclosed the connection of over 17,000 households since the launch of the anti-power theft campaign in the country. According to Monica Tan, several continuance of meters are also expected in country soon to enable LEC to connect more homes. The LEC chief executive officer said power theft is on the increase in the country because the people are yearning for electricity, but the distribution of meters takes time.
Since we started the anti-power theft campaign, we have connected over 17,000 households. We have several engineers and see coming with meters. And we will connect as many households as I always tell the staff here at LEC. I don't want meters, people want to meet meters. I want meters to be safe. If somebody come and say, I have a meter, I want to sell to you, because we have discovered all of the data collection of the dollars instead of the but the one motivation for power theft is when people cannot get access to meters. And we know that, and we're going to follow a strategy to solve that problem. First, we took over, we have replaced hundreds of transformers. Many communities have never had current. That transformers were down for months. We have replaced them, and we're still replacing transformers. And it's a very expensive exercise. A transformer is not a light bulb. You can't go and buy it for $2, $3, $5. You're talking about thousands of dollars. So when we destroy them, it's a major expense on the company. But we have to do that because without transformer, we cannot provide electricity to the individual customers. We are celebrating the rebirth of LEC. Say we are 50 years old, but in reality, we were reborn and had to learn to crawl and walk again and start to build back everything that we have. So it has been a major challenge for us. But today, we can say proudly that we have brought LEC back to a place where we are no longer seen as the hopeless case. About a year ago, if you ask about LEC, I think the average person would probably have responded, oh, LEC, forget about LEC. Nothing good is going to come out of LEC. It's a hopeless case. But we cannot say that anymore today because LEC has accomplished so much in a short time, probably under Liberian management. We can run LEC and we can do a good job if we are given the opportunity.
At the same time, Monica Tan has disclosed that an assessment has been completed in Bonmine's Lower Bond County for the construction of additional 150 megawatts hydroelectric plant. The acting LEC board chair also disclosed that the Rabat International Airport is expected to be electrified by the Liberia Electricity Corporation before the end of 2023.
And I can tell you, the president has put electricity
know, I both know. Lancaster County, Senator Yomri Kaka Lawrence. Silo County, Senator Keegan Wilson Church. On the long Senator County, Senator Church, vote yes. Senator Councilor Gospel True. Vote yes. Durham County, Senator J. Rebel Brown. Senator James B. Diamond. I vote no. Durham County, Senator Councilor Donnie Shannon. Yes. Senator Simeon Volunteer. Yes. One County, Senator Dr. Harry Mutuma. Given that issue was already a part of the budget, agreed upon the revenue component of the budget, and our people need it for development and promotion. Senator Prince no. Namba County, Senator Prince White Johnson. Recognizing that this Grand July County, Senator A. Marshall Dennis, Senator Wilson Johnson, as part of the work in auditory support that was captured in the 2023 national budget that was passed by the National Legislature Congress.
Voices of senators there voting for and against the passing of the $60 million United States dollars financing agreement during Tuesday's section. Report reaching us as former Lone Star captain Anthony Lamford makes stunning revelation, blames some former teammates for Liberia failure to play in the Africa Cup of Nations. Eden Dodo is our sports reporter with the detail.
The former Lone Star captain has blamed some of his former teammates for Liberia's failure to participate in the Africa Cup of Nations finals in recent times. Although Lamford failed to mention any name, he said the group of players Liberia had in his era should have played at the Africa Cup of Nations, noting that did not happen because of his friends. Lamford, speaking recently when he was honored by USA veterans in Baton said he is still frustrated up to date. Lamford was a key member of the Lone Star team that threw away a 2-goal lead in a crucial AFCON qualifiers against Togo in 2016, settling to a 2-2 draw. Liberia again lost 1-0 away to DR Congo in 2019, when a draw could have taken the country to the Africa Cup of Nations. Lamford, who spent 18 years playing for Jomo Cosmos Super Sports and Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa, lamented how he suffered to make it on international stage, hence encouraging young players to always be disciplined. Here is the former Lone Star captain.
On the national team, we have some of our friends. I won't call their names. I'm frustrated today because the group that we have on the national team, some of us here are supposed to play Nation Cup, but we were not privileged because of some friends. I won't name them today. Shenja been around, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But today, I'm happy that I got family in South Africa. I got a South African passport. I got a South African ID. I can travel from here to go to South Africa anytime. And I'm also part of the Liberia Executive Committee to vet coaches and also scout players for Liberia. I'm speaking about discipline. If I was not disciplined today, I don't think Mustafa Raki was going to call me a few days ago to travel all the way to scout honor 15 players. You know, to the younger guys here, as for me, some of the guys that were on the field, I think I played forward to the highest level, but if they can admit I was calling a senior player. The reason why I was calling a senior player is not that they are better than me or I'm better than them. I just wanted to feel comfortable so that tomorrow they can also take that same discipline to another person.
Former Liberia international Anthony Lamford there blaming some of his former teammates for the country's failure to play at the Africa Cup of Nations in recent times. The Liberia Basketball Association in Baton Rouge has vowed to step aside if the last crisis meeting does not yield any food result. The LBA has been entangled with internal crisis since the controversial 2019 elections. Grover Anderson, who served the association for 8 years as president, was disqualified by his own electoral committee in 2019, but still claims to be the legitimate president of the sport that is considered the second most followed in Liberia. All efforts by the sports ministry and the Liberia National Olympics Committee to resolve the matter has been fruitless. LBA Vice President for Administration Emmanuel Porter told 2FM Sports recently that the entire leadership will step down if the issue is not settled amicably.
If there's no marvelous, no final place that we can come up ground, until some of us step away and then to honestly go to basketball. So it gave us a chance to lift up on that so-called suspension. They're going to play now.
Is that a decision that has been taken by the entire administration or the CDP of capacity as a vice
president? As a wisdom for no, that point.
The voice of Liberia Basketball Association Vice President for Administration, Emmanuel Porter. Ahead of the kickoff of the launch, much talk about Monswaro District League, District number 11 head coach Sami Kamara said his team is in high spirit for the annual tournament. Kamara, a former player of Liska, LPRC Olowatanga, has named some of his former teammates like Daniel Woto in the district squad as they prepare to open the tournament they started against District number 4. Here is the former LPRC others left back.
It wasn't bad. It's still a work in progress. Look, these things we go through the first matches to know how to play and what we've been working on. So today was our first test match and we came for 2 goals now to win the practice 5-2. But overall, we are still a work in progress and we're still working for. So we don't count this result. We count our result in our development plan. But overall, the match was good and the result was both coming from the both the good work. I appreciate them for the good work.
Sami Kamara is the head coach of District number 11 in the upcoming Monswaro District League and founded United States wing ultimately where was welcomed by about 100 enthusiastic Juventus fans as he arrived Thursday for his medical test ahead of the potential transfer to the Italian club. We have some autographs and posed for selfie with fans who loudly chanted his name. Some were also waving American flags. A 23-year-old Weah, who is the son of former FIFA Player of the Year and current Liberian President George Weah, is set to sign a 5-year contract with Juventus, according to Italian media reports. Where Hansen has the latest round sports decks.
Thanks to Erin Dodo for the sporting developments. Let's bring you more developments here. Despite the defiant postures of the ministers of finance and health to appear before the Liberian Senate, Senators Albert Chid and Augustine Chie have defended the minister's action. It can be recalled members of the Liberian Senate have requested government ministries and agencies, especially the Ministries of Finance and Health, to present the budget performance report for the past budget years to inform Senate decision for budgetary appropriations. As a result of the request, Finance Minister Samuel Tuet and Health Minister Wilhelmina Jara were written on 2 separate occasions to appear before the full plenary of the Liberian Senate, but such effort is yet to be adhered to. Here are the concerns raised by senators during Thursday's section. Highlights from members of the Liberian Senate. The while Senate Pro Tem Abel Chiet and Augustine Chie defended the ministers in this manner. Voices from the Liberian Senate. Today's development, a representative aspirant in District 3 Mansorata County has donated 100,000 Liberian dollars and over 300 United dollars. T1OK said the donation was as a result of a promise he made during the recent fundraising rally organized by the District Development Council to renovate the district's town hall. Presenting the card on behalf of T1OK, who is currently in the U.S., Victoria Flumos said the cash is intended to buttress the effort of the council.
So we are here to visit our pledge. Honorable Chairman of the district, this is 10,000 Liberian dollars and $320 to represent the 40 days of sleep. We are happy to work with this district on behalf of Mr. Robert Monaco, who the aspirant of our team. We want to say this is what we pledge, and we are going to do more because we have mind and heart for this district in Liberia and Dash. So let us work together for the better good of Liberia. Again, I say this is our pledge.
Receiving the cash donation, the chairman of the District Development Council, Patrick Gayflot, thanked T1OK for the gesture that he described as timely.
We're so excited and want to be very much grateful for its gesture. You know, this is a church that have no children of but we are citizens of this noble district, and in our own name as a chairperson of this noble district, which is the country, I, Senator Patrick T. Gayflot, I'm very, very much grateful and excited for someone to live up to their commitment. Team 1K is not a strange name to this leadership because they have made their presence known to the community by coming officially to tell us that they are inspiring this district to the
Patrick Gayflot is the chairperson of the District 3 Development Council. Earlier was the voice of Madam Victoria Flomo, who presented the cash of 100,000 Liberian dollars and over 300 United dollars to the council. Well, that's all the time we have to be with you on this Thursday edition of the news program, News Desk. But as we take a leave of you, these are the top stories we've been following. President George Weah congratulates Julius Maada Bio on his re-election as president of neighboring Sierra Leone, following a tense electoral process. Associate Justice James Atawolokoli wants Liberians review the electoral laws to challenge provisions that are not applicable in Liberia. Head of the Liberia Electricity Corporation discloses huge progress in the fight against power theft in the country. And away from Liberia, French policemen charged with voluntary homicides and placed on an arrest over the killing of a teenager, which sparked nationwide protests. Many thanks to all of our correspondents, reporters, editors, and those who helped in making this Thursday edition of the news program a success. Special thanks to our editorial team here At Renaissance Communications Incorporated, Olivia Bound brought us the news bulletin, the foreign development. Edin Fato in the sporting developments. Johnson Batoma ably coordinated the news program. My name is Hansen Dekara, presenter. Good evening.